It's not some sort of condemnation on her or doesn't speak ill of the rest of her career, and it's not really that big a deal. But it's certainly a newsworthy story that Angel Reese would be the first player ejected.
Caitlin Clark has finally broken her silence regarding Angel Reese's suspension, offering her perspective on the controversy that has shaken the Unrivaled league. What did she say, and how has the basketball world responded? Let's dive into the details. Following a historic WNBA rookie debut, Angel Reese found herself making history in a different way in the Unrivaled league, but not in a way she would have wanted. The 22-year-old star became the first player to be ejected from a game in the new 3-on-3 professional basketball league. The heated moment occurred during a matchup between Rose Basketball Club and LA Basketball Club, where Reese was ejected in the second quarter after a controversial sequence. It all started when Reese was called for a foul against Tiffany Hayes. As Hayes attempted to regain control of the ball, Reese tried to swat it off her foot.
We got to talk about the Angel Reese. I love it. History was made. First player ejected in an Unrivaled game. That is forever. You can't change it. Afterwards, she put out a 2-word message, "Free me," her coach said.
The referees deemed it a foul, and Reese, visibly frustrated, waved her hand dismissively, a gesture that immediately earned her a technical foul. Reese, pleading her case, argued that her reaction was not directed at the referee, but at the play itself. However, the official saw it differently. After further discussions, Reese was handed a second technical foul and ejected from the game. The moment sparked immediate reactions from fans, analysts, and fellow players. Some believed the ejection was excessive, while others pointed out that Reese needed to exercise better composure. Analyst Sarah Cusso expressed her disbelief, stating, "Angel Reese was just tossed? That's shocking." Reese herself took to social media following the game, posting a simple yet powerful message: "Free me." The post quickly gained traction, with fans and fellow players chiming in. Supporters argued that the officiating was too strict, while critics countered that Reese's reaction played a role in the official's decision. Reese's coach, Nola addressed the situation, offering a balanced take. "Our players are super competitive, and sometimes emotions get the best of them. I understand her frustration, but she will grow from this experience in terms of composure." Despite her ejection, Reese had an impressive stat line, finishing with 6 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 assists in just 7 minutes before being forced to leave the game. With Brittany Sykes sidelined due to a leg injury, Rose Basketball Club was left shorthanded for the remainder of the match. However, the team managed to secure a victory, defeating LA Basketball Club 83-69. The fallout from Reese's ejection extended beyond the game itself, reigniting discussions about her rivalry with Caitlin Clark. The media has long portrayed them as adversaries.
Players are super competitive and sometimes get a little emotional. But how did you interpret her "free me" message?
I thought she was talking about because
a narrative that intensified following their iconic college battles and transitioned to professional basketball. However, Clark was quick to dismiss any ongoing feud. "I don't understand it at all," Clark stated. "We're not best friends, but we respect each other. We've had incredible battles, but when have I ever guarded her? When has she guarded me?" Clark also shared her thoughts on Reese's ejection, expressing her belief that the punishment was too severe. "I don't think it should have resulted in an ejection," she said. "It's unfortunate that the focus is always on the drama rather than the game itself." Clark's measured response contrasts sharply with the media's tendency to pit the two against each other. This isn't the first time the rivalry narrative has been pushed. Previously, during a WNBA game, Chicago Sky's Chennedy Carter delivered a hard foul on Clark, knocking her to the ground. Reese, seen reacting from the bench, was accused by some of cheering for Carter's move. The incident only fueled rumors of tension between Clark and Reese. As the Unrivaled League continues its inaugural season, Reese's ejection has sparked broader discussions about officiating and player conduct. Some argue that referees have been too quick to issue technical fouls, while others insist that players must adapt to the league's standards. The controversy also raises questions about Reese's future in the league. As one of the most high-profile players, her presence is crucial to Unrivaled's success. However, her frustration with the officiating and her social media outburst could create tensions between her and the league's administration.
she was like situated behind our walk-in where it looked like jail, like because it was crossed, the nets looked like crosses. So I thought she was talking about it looked like a jail cell. So that's what I thought. I think that's what she was talking about.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark remains focused on her own journey in professional basketball. As one of the WNBA's rising stars, she continues to navigate the pressures of being a top player in the league. While the media may continue to push the rivalry narrative, Clark and Reese appear more focused on their individual growth rather than any manufactured drama. Angel Reese, one of the most high-profile rookies in professional basketball, made history once again, but this time for a less desirable reason. During a heated matchup in the Unrivaled 3-on-3 basketball league, Reese became the first player to be ejected from a game. Her team, Rose Basketball Club, faced off against LA's basketball club in a matchup that turned unexpectedly dramatic. The incident unfolded in the second quarter when Reese was called for a foul against Tiffany Hayes. Initially, Reese seemed to be contesting the call rather than directly arguing with the referee. However, her dismissive hand gesture led to an immediate technical foul. Clearly frustrated, she pleaded her case, insisting that her reaction was directed at Hayes, not the official. But before she could fully process the situation, Reese was handed a second technical and ejected from the game. The reaction in the arena was one of shock. Even commentators seemed surprised by how quickly the situation escalated. One analyst remarked in disbelief, "Angel Reese just got tossed? That's wild." Reese herself wasted no time in reacting. Shortly after the game, she took to social media with a simple but direct message: "Free me." Her post quickly went viral, sparking debates about officiating standards in the Unrivaled league and the league's overall approach to player conduct.
Wasn't that big of a deal from what I saw, basically arguing with the officials, and maybe she said something they didn't like and she was tossed, but it was noted on the broadcast that it was the...
Many fans and analysts were divided on the ejection. Some argued that Reese's actions didn't warrant such a swift punishment, while others believed that players need to be more mindful of their reactions on the court. Rose's head coach Nola defended her player, acknowledging that Reese's competitive fire sometimes leads to emotional moments. "She's a passionate player," Henry said. "It's something she'll learn from, but I completely understand her frustration." Amid the controversy, Caitlin Clark was asked to share her thoughts on the situation. Given their long-standing on-court battles and the media's tendency to pit them against each other, her response was particularly noteworthy. "I don't get that at all," Clark said. "We're not best friends, but we respect each other. We've had great battles, but we don't even guard each other most of the time." Clark also touched on the media's role in amplifying the rivalry narrative. "People are more focused on the drama than the actual games," she continued. "Instead of talking about the incredible performances or how we're elevating women's basketball, the headlines are always about controversies that are sometimes blown out of proportion."
First, and then Reese went online and was not happy about it, firing off a bunch of posts in regard to it happening and the attention it received, or the attention she received.
This isn't the first time Clark has had to respond to speculation about her dynamic with Reese. Earlier in the WNBA season, a physical encounter between Clark and Kennedy Carter, where Carter hip-checked Clark to the floor, reignited discussions about player rivalries. When Reese was seen reacting on the bench, many assumed she was cheering on Carter's actions. Clark, however, dismissed such assumptions. "I didn't even see her reaction. I don't think she was celebrating me getting hit. That would be ridiculous." Following her ejection, Reese took to social media to defend herself. She pointed out that passionate players often get caught up in the heat of the moment, and that her frustration was understandable given the circumstances. "People are going to criticize no matter what," she posted. "At the end of the day, I play with heart, and I'll always have that fire." Reese also addressed the ongoing debate about her playing style. Some critics argue that her aggressive rebounding numbers are inflated by collecting her own missed shots. However, others have pointed out that regardless of how she gets them, her numbers speak for themselves. "She's having a historic season," one analyst noted. "Just like Caitlin Clark, they're both changing the game." Despite constant speculation about their rivalry, both players seem to share mutual respect.
But, that comes with the territory. You have to remember, if you're one of the faces of the league, and Angel Reese herself asserted they're not just watching Caitlin Clark, they're here because of me as well, that's what comes along with it.
Reese recently spoke about this at a public event, saying, "Everyone thinks we're against each other, but we know the truth. We've been competing since we were in high school. It's just part of the game." Reese also hinted at the possibility of teaming up with Clark in the future. "She's a great shooter, a great competitor, who knows? Maybe one day we'll be on the same team." For now, though, the focus remains on their respective paths in professional basketball. Reese will be back on the court soon, looking to lead Rose Basketball Club to more victories in the Unrivaled League, while Clark continues to shine as one of the WNBA's brightest stars.